That's here, Master Young, and welcome back to F1 Podcast. I'm joined by David.
Good afternoon, everyone, or morning, or evening, or whatever it is, whenever you're listening to.
Yeah. Okay, well, I need to look at Stream Deck because sticky buttons for some bizarre reason. So, Belgium.
Belgium, the race that actually happened this year.
Yeah. Well, when I read the forecast and it said rain, I was thinking, oh, here we go, washout again, complete and utter washout, or something along the lines of that. But we were actually quite pleasantly surprised that we got a race this year.
We actually got, the race we got completely dry and no problem at all, didn't we? And we were rewarded with a good typical Spa race, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously the news came out first about the fact that like a third of the grid had for the engine penalties.
Yeah, and that was like when they read the list of the engine penalty, the grid for the penalty list, it was like, oh crap.
I think it was Crofty said before, it's the first race ever that because of penalties, every single car on the grid had moved positions.
Yeah, well, 2 started from the pit lane.
Ironically, 2 Alpha Tauris, which, yeah, there's a good conspiracy theory in that one, but...
Yeah, I think I know where you're alluding to there. That was done on purpose to allow Max to blast through.
To be honest, I think even without that, Max was on another level.
Oh, this weekend he was on fire.
He was just... I mean, they all talk about Hamilton, Brazil last year as a display, where he went from the back to win across a sprint and a weekend. Max went from 14th to first. Was it from the back to first in something like 13 laps?
12.
Don't get me wrong, a safety car assisted, but by God, he was on a mission that day.
12 laps it took him.
Yeah.
It was like...
Of a very long lap.
Yeah.
We're not talking Bahrain short here, where it's a sub 1 minute lap. I think, is it not the longest lap on the calendar?
Yeah, it is.
That's why it's such a short race compared to a lot of other.
I mean, you know. Okay, so you won't hear anything to do with FP1, FP2, and FP3 because
neither of us saw it.
Neither of us saw it this weekend.
And like I say, I only saw quali highlights, so I can't give you. I know quali was delayed, wasn't it, because there were some barrier repairs had to go on.
Quali was delayed because of the Porsche. Some Porsche race, like the Super Cup or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was a big accident. And yes, it ripped. It basically, imagine opening a can of sardines, and you just peel back the can.
Yeah,
that's what it did to the barrier. It just peeled it peeled the barrier back, so they had to repair it. So it got delayed.
Yeah, I never saw. And also, I'll say it now, I didn't see a lot of race build up because it was also a touring car weekend. So. Obviously, my attention was split.
I didn't watch a lot of the... Like I said, I didn't watch a lot of the race build-up. I saw Brundle's grid walk.
I saw part of it, because I think was it the first time ever that he'd gone from the back to the front and back to the back again, or something like that.
Yeah. I saw it, I saw his grid walk, and then basically... the national anthem and the race. So, yeah, quali was just quali apart from...
Quali basically didn't count because of everything that was going on.
Yeah. Apart from
obviously, something went wrong with Bottas. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't see. Because he was basically 20th, wasn't he? But then because of everyone's penalties, he ended up starting about 12th.
Yeah. And you had the likes of... the Williams. What the actual shit did they do to that car?
It's just Albon for you. Albon is, and I have to eat my words a little bit when he said he was coming back to F1. He's actually performing about as well as that Williams is ever going to manage. He's also showing that Latifi is... Yeah, we're going to come on to him again later, no doubt.
Yeah, we will. And
For basically screwing over the birthday boy.
Yeah, don't worry about if you hear any background noise. David is currently playing F1 22 in the background.
Yeah, I currently have 5 laps to go in the Australian Grand Prix. I'm third and I've got a massive tyre advantage, so I'm pushing for everything it's worth.
It's alright, we've both been sinking time into F1 Manager 22 as well. That gets released. Yeah. So the podcast will be out Friday, because I can't delay this. I can't delay it due to it being...
The fact that we've got back-to-back races.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, qualifying was just like, yeah, okay, it's a complete write-off. I mean, yeah, okay, the Red Bulls, Ferraris, they pushed it, and Perez don't entirely know what's going on with him right now.
No, he's sort of lacking that little bit of edge right now, but I'm hoping it's just a temporary thing. He can get his head back.
He kind of needs to, because
he's basically becoming Max's only rival, which is bad because he isn't going to be a rival because the team would never.
Yeah, because Perez had chance to stick it on Paul.
Yeah, and messed it up.
Yeah. And it just didn't go well. And then, Leclerc was out of contention for qualifying anyways. Yeah, he tried, but...
Once again, which point... I feel like every race I can just post that meme of the Ferrari guy shooting himself with pasta.
Yeah.
Because every race without fail, they... send him out on new tyres when they were meant to be scrubbed. Yeah, and that's not going on to the blooper in the race, which I think was comedy gold.
Yeah, but even he questioned.
Because he knew he was wrong. He knew he was wrong.
Yeah, that was the thing. He questioned. Why have you sent me out on new tyres?
Because he was supposed to be there just to give a bit of a slipstream pull to Sainz, which actually he didn't need anyway, but...
No. Ferrari's decision are questionable. I mean...
Questionable?
You what? Questionable.
Questionable? That's turning it lightly at the moment. I'd say they're about as good decision making as a drunk in a bloody kebab shop.
Oh, Jesus. So many Ferrari memes been circulating this weekend. It's been ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Quali was just... Yeah, Quali. I've got nothing I can really say about it, to be honest. Because it just, like we say, it didn't count because of the amount of penalties.
There was so much to go on afterwards of sorting out that, yeah, it was pretty much just it was just there for mileage, basically.
Yeah. So, did we do the Piastri thing now before the race stuff? Or do we do the race
That's up to you. What do you think? Do you want to do the race first and then come on to it at the end? Because it's kind of something which started before the race, but is still ongoing after it, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, we'll do the race.
I'd say we'll do the race stuff now, yeah.
Yeah. So, whole build-up, everybody's waiting and all this lot, and it's like this mixed-up grid. I mean, it was completely mixed up for the fact that you had Williams starting so high up.
Yeah.
The AlphaTauris ended up starting at the pit lane, as we previously said. It was like, okay, because it was both AlphaTauris. It wasn't just one of them.
Well, one was announced at the end of quali he was going to be doing it, and then they decided for reasons I never quite heard to take the second one into the same.
I don't know why either.
Like I say, I know there's the conspiracy theories behind it, which I'm not entirely dismissing.
Well, just the fact to get them out of the way to let Max fly through.
It was 2 less cars that the Red Bull had to get through.
Yeah, but I'm honestly just going to take that as As
Like I said,
conspiracy,
I'm
it's
not giving
concrete.
it complete peace of mind, but at the same time,
Oh yeah, you
I'm not
know.
100% discounting it.
No. So yeah.
And then the race started. The only other thing was the fact that Perez decided to park sideways on his
What
box.
the fuck? Oh, why did he do that? That was one of the things that screwed him right at the start. It was like,
It was because he had to turn out of it, and that's what lost him drive.
yeah, it lost him traction
And he basically got swamped off the start.
again. And it was just like, why did he do that? I know he was trying to cover the Ferrari off. I know what he was trying
Well,
to
no,
do.
he wasn't because he was behind the Ferrari. He was covering Alonso and the Mercs.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Well, he's trying to get the advantage, wasn't he? But it didn't. It didn't work. And I mean, like even Brundle said, or Crofty said, one of them said, why? I think it was Brundle more than Crofty. Why do that? Because you basically, you lost yourself traction.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, well,
Like I say, Perez's starts haven't been the hottest of the hot lately.
no.
Full stop. But like I say, the combination of that and what he had to do to make up for the angle he was at.
Yeah.
I guess we're talking about this. I've currently got Perez and Sainz side by side in front of me. This is interesting.
So, they go around. So they go around whatever the hell that first turn is called.
Yep, down into Radion.
Then into
and Eau Rouge.
Radion and Eau Rouge. Now, they slightly reprofiled Eau Rouge.
Oh, they've made changes to a few of the corners. They've made big changes to the track before this race. I think we have talked about before.
Yeah, a lot of gravel traps. I mean, them gravel traps, as we'll come on to in a minute, proved costly for a certain driver.
Yeah. For the birthday boy.
Yeah. And, so, they go up to the source. That is actually what it is called. It's called the source.
Yeah.
It's a weird corner name, is that? And the next minute, we see a Mercedes go for a flying lesson.
And then we see Hamilton upset because he had to give up his part in Top Gun, decided to try and recreate a scene using a Mercedes.
And
now, I fully 100% side with Alonso on this one, I must admit. Hamilton, from the onboard shots, Hamilton just turned in on him.
he was in, but Hamilton admitted he was in the wrong. He was in his blind spots.
I did love Alonso's comments, though.
I watched the interview afterwards. Hamilton was, I couldn't believe the attitude of him. I mean, I'm not the biggest Hamilton fan, but to turn round...
Really?
Yeah. To turn round and say to the interviewer, I don't care what Alonso said. It was the way he spoke.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like, yes, you're a 7-time world fucking champion. Big fucking deal. Do not speak to an interviewer like that. That was shocking. Yeah, I get he was pissed off. But, I'm sorry, but that was shocking. Even to be live on air, he could have been a little bit more professional about it.
Oh, yeah.
And
obviously, also got to say, amazing that the Alpine study. I mean, the Merc. It was obvious it was going to take damage. The way it slammed down into the ground. If you did that to a road car, it's not going to like you very much.
No.
No, I don't know what actually broke. You could see it sparking and smoking after the incident.
I think it was the underfloor.
Yeah, but I'd say it probably knocked a pipe off the engine or something, is what eventually ground it to a halt.
Well, it was probably more suspension as well. But they did tell him to stop.
Yeah, they saw something on the telemetry that didn't look good.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus. I mean, that was...
I can't imagine it was too comfortable a ride either, because the F1 cars are not renowned for their soft suspension.
No. And then he had the lonely walk Then he had the lonely walk.
Where he got a bollocking off the FIA for not going back to the medical tent, didn't he, if I heard right?
He got fined for it because it tripped a sensor in the car.
Yeah, the G-force sensors tripped.
Yeah. And because he didn't go back, because he didn't go to the medical centre for checked, he got fined for it.
Which is fair enough, those rules are there for driver safety, so if you're not gonna...
And it's just... It's like... You know... His just whole demeanour, he just went into full fucking diva mode.
Yeah. Do we expect anything less?
Well, no. And then we get on to wherever it was, and I can't remember. Next minute, the Williams invented a new sport.
No, the Williams gave Bottas bowling a taste of his own medicine.
Oh, that was so unfortunate for Bottas. It just...
It was one. It was such a... He couldn't do anything more. He was trying to keep out of the way.
Yeah, and got tagged. Got tagged and got spun, and because of the gravel, what they've done to gravel traps is it beached him.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, that shit. That's just a shame, because, yeah. It was just like... The problem was, I think that was the Williams setup as well. I think it was the way Williams had set that car up.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's Latifi, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, which Latifi's having his issues at the moment. Not to mention being well and truly shown up by Albon right now.
If I'm honest, get Latifi out of the car. Get him out.
Yeah.
Don't offer him a seat next year. I know this is going to sound harsh to a lot of Williams fans. But he like I said, like I previously said, I think it was his last podcast. Latifi just... He seems to have lost all confidence.
Yeah.
After Russell left, if I'm honest. And it's showing.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, he took that corner too wide, dipped the wheel in the gravel, and suddenly was going sideways. And tagged Bottas.
And poor Bottas had absolutely nowhere to go.
Couldn't do anything. Well, that was the thing. He'd avoided him.
Yeah. I thought he had.
Or, well, yeah, that's what yeah. You know, it looked like he'd avoided him, but it just got tagged. It was just like...
Yeah.
Shit. Because I've always been regardless of whether Bottas was a Mercedes driver or whatever, I'd always been a fan of Bottas.
Yeah.
Because Bottas wasn't so far up his own fucking backside that... You know,
and he'd been performing well in that Alpha, let's be honest. He's not been doing bad since he moved to them.
No, he hasn't. But look at when it was announced that Russell was taking his seat. Look how he performed in the Merc. So...
Well, Russell showed him up from day one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Basically.
But the thing, like we said, even with Russell coming into Mercedes, which, you know, proved the point that because he drove a shitbox, the car was a shitbox.
Yeah.
He drove the fucking balls off it. You know what I mean? It was just the way that was. And Russell is still performing.
Oh, to be honest, my dad said I agree. Russell is the number one driver in the Merc now.
He is. Yeah.
Russell has got to be there. Has got to become to their priority.
Yeah. He has
because
to
he
be.
just stands the better chance of getting somewhere. Now, that's another thing that the Hamilton fans won't like. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze off mic for a second. But,
Yeah.
we're going to...
Russell is the number one at Merc now.
Yeah.
It is clear. And
Which, to be honest, is not a terrible thing, because as I've said before, is their future. Hamilton really isn't.
no. As much as Hamilton like to make out he is, just because he's a 7-time world champion, he's not the future of that team. He's not now. I mean, I'm not. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. But if he doesn't make a retirement claim this season, I would be very surprised.
But as I've said to you before, and we've talked about before, where did Merck go if he does that?
They'd have to bring in the reserve driver, or
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to take your reserve driver and put him straight into what you think is your leading car. Because, alright, he's got car experience, but he hasn't got race experience.
No, Formula E experience.
He hasn't got F1.
Oh, we know this.
Actual racing experience, which is not a position they would want. Which is what I'm saying. To me, if that announcement was made, I think they'd be making a play for Norris.
Yeah.
Because he's in the Mercedes world, because McLaren are a Merc engine, and I'm sure there could be some agreements come to. I'm not saying it'd be a good thing. I know the McLaren fans would hate it, but I can't see where Merc's other options lie unless they made a move for someone like Gasly or. But I can't seem to think anyone from Red Bull.
No, it wouldn't do them any.
Perhaps Mick Schumacher. Don't forget Michael drove for Mercedes right at the end.
As much as I like Mick, and I'm not really shitting on him.
No, I agree.
He's not ready.
No, someone like the Hulk, perhaps.
Nah. I don't know.
But once again, that's another old guy coming in.
Yeah.
No, if it's a Hulkenberg, he's about my age.
Yeah.
But in F1 circles, I mean, Danny Rick's there as a free agent, but I think he's a bit too on the old side for what Mercedes would want.
Oh, wait. Fernando Alonso will make a shock announcement.
Did I not joke about that when it was announced? Alonso shock announcement after 2 years. Aston Martin goes to Merc and wins a championship with him.
Yeah.
At about age 43.
Yeah.
No, it's just I'd like to hear anybody watch. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this actually, because I think it's a topic that not a lot of people seem to have picked up on.
No.
But to me, Mercedes are in a shit place right now.
Oh yeah.
Because, like I say, in years gone by, we've always known who Mercedes' next driver was going to be.
Yeah.
It was Bottas. It was Bottas when Rosberg was there.
Yep.
And then we knew Russell was coming.
Oh yeah, we after that performance.
No, we'd known he was a Merc prodigy before he got put in that car.
We knew, yeah. Oh yeah, we knew that.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I'm going to do a quick Google here. Who's Toto managing?
Don't think it tells you, does it?
Because he was managing management racing drivers such as Bruno Spengler, Alexandra Preme.
They're more.
I'm guessing they're in lower formulas right now.
Spengler and that that doesn't ring a bell to me. That sounds more Formula E.
Mm.
Because, like I said, that was the like of Nick DeVries. He was Formula
Yeah.
E. Gio, that's weird because Gio, just talking about Giovinazzi, he's Formula E, but he's also a reserve
But-
driver.
Bruno Spengler, he's a 39-year-old DTM driver.
Oh, right, has he gone DTM now?
So he's not really going to be the option.
Nah.
And Alexandra Primat,
Hmm.
I'm just Googling here. Please hold caller. But, you know, and I know I've said this before, like I say, Primat is a 40-year-old
Yeah, so they haven't got options.
who won the 2019 Super Super Auto Bathurst 1000 with Scotty McLaughlin
Well, Scott McLaughlin's
in IndyCar
is
now.
IndyCar.
Was an ex-Aussie V8 driver.
He's an
Famous to
IndyCar
me because he was the
driver.
one who took Volvo's couple of years in Australian V8s to
Hmm.
dizzying heights.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's basically not giving me any.
No.
But that's what I'm saying is, if Lewis announced next week that he's leaving at the end of the season,
Yeah.
I cannot see where Merck's next driver is coming from.
They don't have
Like I've said to you, to me,
don't have a lot of options.
they're either buying Norris out of McLaren
Yeah.
at whatever that would cost.
Probably more
Now I
than
don't.
the exit figure's been paid for Ricardo.
Possibly. But, you know, if they're not doing that, then I don't think they'd have Albon because of his Red Bull ties.
No.
Latifi's no.
Not worth it.
Stroll's not going to leave Aston Martin unless he leaves F1, I don't think.
Stroll won't leave Aston Martin until Daddy boots him.
Yeah. And then obviously the other Aston Martin's here right now is Alonso. Which, yeah, whereas that would be entertaining, it once again would take them not on the path I think they particularly want to be on.
They want to get back to dominance. And
Yeah, but I don't mean that. I mean in the sense that you want to be bringing younger drivers. You want people who you can put in now and can be there for the next, for like Hamilton.
well, yeah, it depends. Depends on who they can look at in the lower F2 leagues.
Like I say, my only thing with that is I would not bring somebody in from a lower league straight into the lead car.
No.
Normally you drop them into the Williams or the Aston or the McLaren.
Well,
Maybe that's the problem with Piastri.
maybe that's the what?
Plan with Piastri.
Don't see the point. This is what I'm. Obviously, we'll get to that, but
You know, a year at McLaren, and then into the Merc or something.
maybe not. I don't know with that. Merck has really sort of left themselves in a very strange position. But obviously, we don't work for Merck. We know nobody works for Merck, so
If you do, hit us up. We'll
Yeah.
keep your name anonymous.
there's no sort of knowledge of what who they're actually scouting. Because that's the thing we don't see is who everybody is scouting.
Yeah.
And, you know, the one thing I will reiterate, and I will reiterate this on the last podcast of this season, is what Vettel came out and said. Which was go support Mick.
Yeah.
His words were go support, you know, don't be somewhat like disheartened because I'm not there, go support Mick. And that, to me, is just basically Seb being a, like, sort of a father role to Mick, looking after Mick. And obviously,
definitely.
with his ties, because of his ties with the Schumacher family and stuff like that, and Michael and stuff, he wants
not to mention both Germans.
Well, yeah, but
let's not forget that part. They are both German.
Yeah, I know, but he wants to just he's just wanting to give Mick the support. Even though, wow, I bet I'd have loved to have been to fly on that wall that day that them two collided. Oof. That'd have been nasty words in German at each other.
All words sound nasty in German. It comes with a language.
But yeah, the race wasn't.
The race was interesting because of what happened at the beginning, and then
Yeah.
we'll come on to it. Then Ferrari's absolute blinding bit of strategy play.
What about McLaren? And their whole letters of the alphabet
Well,
plans.
I think a lot of that goes on every race, and we just don't hear it.
Yeah, it was the first time we'd ever heard Plan G. How many bloody plans do they have in play?
Now, is it just my old Achievement Hunter days? I'm assuming you know what Plan G was in old Achievement Hunter Minecraft, don't you? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe there's a load of dynamite under the... Look, Plan G, boom!
but you know what I mean? It was just like...
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's the first time you'd ever heard of Plan G.
I can't wait to watch one of your manager live streams. I want a Plan Z!
Yeah. I mean, I have... When I play F1 Manager, I've actually usually have 4 plans. I usually do...
I usually just go with the I make it up as I go along.
Oh, I usually go... I have strategy A, B, C, and D. So...
Yeah, I just make it up as I go along.
And... Yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we?
Well, no, I want one last point to which I want to go back to, which was which was Ferrari's little play at the end of the race, which was putting Leclerc onto soft to try and get fastest lap.
Did it work?
Mistake number 1 was he didn't get back out in front of Alonso. Mistake number 2 was he didn't get fastest lap. Mistake number 3 was getting done for speeding in the pit lane, which gave him a penalty, which dropped him back even further.
Yep.
Which, God almighty, talk about going in for a prize and coming out with a frigging turd.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes back to what I've said before. Because Max is now, 90-some points clear?
Well, he had an 80 point advantage going into this race. So, just add 27 points on.
Yeah, he's something like 90-odd points. No, Leclerc did get some points, but I think Perez is now second. But he's now, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I've said it before, I'll say again, I want Verstappen to win this year. Because I want it to be a championship that the Hamilton fans can't bitch over. Which they will anyway, but...
Oh, they'll bitch over it.
But at the same time, I'd like Verstappen, Perez...
What's your wind noise? Just a little bit.
Sorry?
It's Verstappen, Perez and Leclerc, Sainz, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Ocon, Alonso, Bottas, Magnussen, Vettel, Ricciardo, Gasly, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou, Albon, I think.
Yeah, and I want Max to get challenged for it. I don't want him to have... At this rate, he's going to have won it in about the next 3 races. Which is not how I want it to go, but hopefully Ferrari can maybe, I don't know, fire their entire strategy department or something.
I mean,
it feels like we're at that level.
Because the way things are after this race, as it stands on constructors, is ridiculous. Red Bull are on 475. Ferrari, 357. And then Mercedes are like 316 points. Then it's Alpine.
It's kind of amazing how well Mercedes
are doing.
Yeah, considering where they've had so far this season. That they're still, but it's mainly because other teams just haven't capitalised.
No, because you haven't had even AlphaTauri aren't doing great this year.
No.
Aston Martin, definitely not doing as good as they were. And, well, Williams has got 4 points. After, like, 10 races.
Which I think is more than they got last year.
Yeah. I think so. But, yeah.
Actually, no, because Russell got that second in Belgium, didn't he? So
Yeah.
that'll have given them a decent haul. I think that's about all they got that year.
But, it's just... You know, they tried to do all this rules and regs and everything to make better racing and all this shit, and I don't think it's honestly worked.
Oh, I do. We've definitely got closer racing.
Yeah.
We've definitely got cars that can actually follow reasonably close to each other without problems. But yeah, maybe there's still more that can be done. But then again, I don't think we ever expect it to be an instant.
No, because...
I mean, no difference if you get to touring car levels where from a 32 car group, 22 are capable of winning.
Because obviously these cars and rule regs were supposed to come in last year.
Yeah.
But they didn't because of the pandemic and stuff like that.
Because of COVID and because of everything, they decided to give the teams an extra year to figure themselves out, which, yeah, at the time I wasn't the biggest fan of, but
it's better than probably what it would have been.
Yeah.
Because I imagine it would have been an absolute cluster truck. Oh, sorry, clusterfuck. If...
Oh, probably both.
Yeah, if they'd have released everything last year.
Yeah. And I think that covers the race, other than to say, well done to Red Bull, obviously. As we have to mention Max, as we said off air. Was it the back to the front in 12 laps?
Yep. From whatever position it was, can't remember now.
You know, people talk about Hamilton's Brazil last year.
Yeah.
Well, that was over 2 race sessions, basically.
Yeah.
Max did it in 12 laps.
Max did it in 12.
12 long laps, but still, Jesus Christ, that Red Bull was on another planet today. It really was.
Oh, it was.
And I can imagine we're going to see much of the same at Zandvoort. Because if there's anywhere that Max is going to show it. If there's anywhere where Max is going to turn it up to 11, it's going to be his home race. Expect there to be lots of orange flares, let's put it that way.
Well,
I don't mean trousers.
Well, the thing is, they were the fans were still told they weren't allowed flares at Spa.
Yeah, they were there.
But they were there.
I don't get the logic. Oh, look, it's starting. Let's make it so no fucker can see.
Yeah.
Somebody open one of them in front of me, I'd be shoving it up their ass. Be coming out the fucking ears. Pardon my language.
Oh, yeah. But the only thing that... The thing that got my attention was, and I will say this, the Ferrari strategist or his race engineer. His race engineer needs firing. How much... They had a full-blown fucking conversation on the radio of, do you want fresh mediums? Do you want fresh hards? And it's like, wow, how much information are you giving away to other teams?
But maybe they already knew what they were doing and it was just a bit of a double bluff.
Didn't fucking work though, did it?
No, it didn't work, but then again, like I said, Ferrari strategists right now.
I mean, yeah, good on Sainz for capitalising on what could have been Leclerc if Leclerc hadn't have...
Yeah.
Good on Sainz. I've always liked Sainz. Even when he was at McLaren.
Oh yeah, like I say, I think back to his father in the old rally days, so it's a legacy name, and to see it doing well...
I mean, it'd be nice...
It's never a bad thing.
It'd be nice for him from, obviously... his recent string of bad luck and his grenade and everything else.
Well, he sort of did that at the start of the year, didn't he? He had a run of bad luck and then he got a win and sort of seemed to calm Because obviously he had Australia, then Imola, where he didn't finish a lap,
Yeah.
and then went on and got the win. But it's like, I don't know. It's for Ferrari right now.
You
The
know,
car's capable.
the
The team
car.
isn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's the best way I can put it.
The car was looking phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Do 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 do.
You know, at the start of the season.
Yeah, let's not forget. And I said it also.
And then it went to shit very quickly.
Red Bull didn't finish Bahrain. Neither car finished Bahrain.
No.
Max didn't finish Australia.
No.
Yet Max is now 3 wins clear.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Max threw away 50 points. 52, technically, if you count fastest laps.
Yeah.
At the start of the year with DNF. Max, I don't mean that in a way against Max.
Well, Max didn't throw it away. The car decided to throw it away.
The team threw away 52 points at the start of this season by not finishing the first 2 races, and yet here he is 90-odd clear.
Yeah.
That tells you how bad Ferrari have done to capitalise on what, at the start of the year, looked like it was being handed to them.
Yeah. He's 90...
About 93 I have in my head, but I could be wrong.
Hold that thought, guys.
Please hold. Your call is very important to us.
Why is it not going to give me what I want?
Because you haven't paid enough compliments.
He's 84 points clear of Perez.
Yeah, and then Leclerc.
Or whatever. You know, he's about 90 odd points. Yeah. He's like 90 odd points clear.
Yeah,
which
like
is
I say,
ridiculous.
From where the season started,
yeah,
he's nuts.
I mean, you think about it. They lost a point. You know, they lost a considerable amount of points at the start of the year.
Yeah.
Did Red Bull, even in the constructors' standings.
Well, like I say, you can basically count Max. There was a potential 52 points were thrown away in the first 2 races.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he would have got all 52 points, but I'm saying that's where the potential lay.
Yeah.
So Ferrari had that head start, because I'm pretty sure Leclerc won them both, if memory serves. I'm going back to the Formula 1 site now, just to
I'm on the Formula 1 site. It was... No. It was Leclerc at Bahrain and Leclerc at Australia. Max won Saudi.
Yeah, so Leclerc won those 2 races and Max DNF'd.
Yeah, but then look at that. You've got Imola, Miami, Spain. Monaco was Perez. Azerbaijan, Canada, Sainz and Leclerc won. Sainz won Great Britain. Leclerc won Austria. And then Max.
Yeah.
He's clawed it back. Very weird. You know, it's just that. I think this is what's. Because even Mercedes, like Total said, even Total admitted that Red Bull, you know, Max and Red Bull were just phenomenal. They didn't have an answer to that, and that is where Mercedes wanted to be. Mercedes want to be where Red Bull are this year.
Yeah.
And it's no wonder that there's well over 100 points in 120, 100 and about 125, if not, but I'm just going to put a round figure, about 120 points difference in the Constructors' Championship as it stands between Ferrari and Red Bull. So because of basically Ferrari's strategies, they've basically losing points quite a lot of points, regardless of whether it's the the drivers' championship. Fair enough. You know what I mean? They don't give a shit about that. It's the constructors' championship because that's what pays. That's what gets them the money.
Yeah, well, the two kind of go together.
Yeah, sort of and sort of not. But no, but you know what I mean. The mistakes of Ferrari are costing them potential money. Really, if you think about it, because Ferrari, if Mercedes get their finger out, which ain't gonna happen now because of 9 races to go, there's a possibility. I don't think Mercedes can catch Ferrari.
Not unless the second half of this year the Merc comes back hard.
Yeah, unless the Mercedes come back hard, they're not going to catch Ferrari. Alpine and McLaren will just battle this out. Not because Alfa Romeo aren't going to catch them. Not a chance. So basically, I think I'm going to make a prediction now. Mercedes will end up third in the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because looking at the results, unless Mercedes have a bad run of form for these last 8,
yeah,
I still don't think Alpine will catch them. So yeah, the on-track battle, the on-track battles between McLaren and Alpine will be interesting because they're fighting for 4th in the constructors, and Mercedes will probably end up finishing 3rd. And at this moment, unless it goes really bad for Red Bull, they're not going to be caught.
No, like I say, I think Max are going to have this championship with a few races to go, unless things majorly turn round.
Yeah.
In the back half of this year, like I say, we often wonder because Mercedes have a history of coming back stronger after the mid-season break. Now,
Which didn't happen.
not yet, but
Not
let's be
yet.
honest, this race kind of didn't go.
Well, yeah, I suppose it wasn't the usual tactic though, was it?
No, so we will wait and see on that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think the only stuff we've got left to discuss is the one we alluded to earlier, which we better talk about.
Yeah, we better have
The ongoing Oscar
contract.
Piastri Alpine contract, which, as of the time of us recording, went to the Contracts Recognition Board today. Now, I have not seen anything.
It went to the FIA contract board.
I am just checking Alpine's Twitter because I can't think of a more reliable source to really look at right now.
Well, you've got Sky Sports, F1. You've got the Sky Sports stuff itself.
But there's nothing on there because the last post from them was 9 hours ago, was claiming that Alonso got the fastest pit stop of the race at Belgium.
Oh, right, okay. They probably won't say much about it at the minute.
Yeah, well, they might have retweeted an official statement sort of thing. If a result had come out, is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I just can't think of anywhere else.
Yeah, they're not. Can't see them putting a statement out right now till something's been. Because this might not, the decision might not be today.
No.
It could end up being tomorrow, or as soon as we find out, I'm sure we'll let you know at the next. Everybody will know if you're an F1 fan, but we'll obviously let you know that decision in the next podcast. But to be honest, like I said off air, I think Danny got the boot because
I honestly, and my belief, and I'm willing to put this out in open now, I honestly believe that McLaren have their eyes on Piastri. I honestly believe that.
Why not? He did well in F2. That's the thing. But because he is still contractually bound to Alpine, then this is why this is why there's such a big hoo-ha, because of the fact that the dickhead, like he did, turned around and said, I will never drive for Alpine.
Which, like I've said to you, to me means he's got something in place.
Yeah,
Because you would not burn that bridge unless you're very sure you had
no.
something to land on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And the whole "I will never drive for Alpine" is such a strong thing to say.
There's basically no going back, because even if Alpine were right, which, like I said to you, the way Otmar was talking, and I honestly believe that they are not stupid people, and if they think they have that strong a case, then we'll have to wait and see on that one. But kind of lost my train of thought a little there. If they're that confident in their contract, which, don't forget, teams like that employ lawyers on their books.
Oh yeah.
They probably don't take a dump without running it past a lawyer first. So I'm pretty sure that they're gonna have their shit in order.
Yeah, I just feel that, like I say, he burnt his bridge too early. He could have been a little bit more professional in perhaps the way he tweeted out, because you've got to think that's not some fucking PR manager doing the tweet for him. That is him himself.
You hope it is, because if that's some PR manager, then by God, that's a fuck up and a half.
Yeah, I know. No, it is actually him. It's not a PR manager.
No, fair enough. I don't doubt what you're saying. I'm just saying that if it wasn't,
if it was a PR manager, they'd be losing their fucking job right now.
You would certainly hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And yeah, I think he could have been a little bit more professional on that. And this is what caused the shitstorm that's going on right now. And the fact that, they turn around and say, then Vettel retires, and obviously Fernando Alonso does a cheeky
it's all Vettel's fault.
does a cheeky tweet to against Oscar Piastri for it. Basically, it's like, yeah, I've got your seat now, sort of thing. I kind of expected that from Alonso, to be honest, just a little bit of a dick move, but it's not really landed Alpine in shit with him doing that. But I get Alonso's points of, he's sick of being analysed about doing anything, and maybe they are probably analysing him too much, which he probably doesn't like.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the whole Piastri shit, it's like you've burnt your bridge, but yet I don't know if did Otmar say, if we got him back or something, No,
he never sort of alluded his. And I'm going to paraphrase a little here because I can't remember the exact. His wording was along the lines of the same thing happened with Button. He tried to leave BAR. And the contracts board dragged him back. Now, don't forget, he then went on to win a championship.
Yeah.
Okay, he was with Braun, not BAR, because the team changed hands in between. But sort of what Otmar was sort of saying was, this can happen and they can still go on to have working relationships.
Yeah. But
whether you'd want to go back to a team after that or not entirely is up to you, sort of.
Well, yeah. Whereas obviously Fernando's a bit different on his move, because he was coming to the end of his contract anyways.
It's not that. To me, everyone's sort of analysing, was this a good move from Alonso? Honestly, I believe Alpine will want. I honestly believe, I don't necessarily going to say Alpine were wanting him to go for a younger driver, but I'm going to say that he saw it coming that he might be replaced for a younger driver, and he's literally gone out with the attitude of a drive is a drive.
Yeah, he still wants to stay within the way I saw the Fernando thing and it's the same with Danny Rick, that they want to stay within F1.
Yeah.
And that was my sort of view
I mean,
on Alonso going to Aston Martin. He wants to still drive. I mean,
let's be honest.
look at him
From
when
the
he
way it
does.
looks, from the way it looks this year, to go from the Alpine to the Aston is a backward step.
This year is a backward step, but maybe it's a step in the right direction for Aston Martin.
Maybe, although you'd think Seb's no spring chicken. You think he brings experience and. But no, I think we're arguing the same side, two different sides of the same coin. The way I see it, Aston Martin are gaining another old, experienced guy.
But maybe, yeah. Well, like the thing, yeah. Well, with that, but has Alonso got some sort of input, or a lot more? Could he have a lot more input at Aston Martin to perhaps potentially make that car better?
Potentially, he's got a lot of experience.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And experience is a valuable commodity. Let's not.
Yeah, and that's what I reckon. That's why they've done it. To be honest.
Yeah.
And because he wants to stay within the F1.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with that. I don't know necessarily, is it a forwards move for him? Probably not. But I don't think he had a lot of other options. I think it's just a chance for him to
still
get
drive.
another 1 year at least.
Yeah, it's still a drive. Because we don't even know. Like Aston Martin are particularly in the same boat as Mercedes. I think most teams are in the same boat of they don't have a lot of options with their reserve drivers.
No, they don't, because you're right. Actually, we see it more because certainly the way I look at it, and don't get me wrong, I'm willing to take Christians could be wrong. You've got the three main teams.
Yeah.
And then all the other teams, because they generally use one of the three engines, for technically you count Renault and Alpine, the rest are like feeders to those main teams.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, money might not change hands. We'll put it this way. Let's go back to your running McLaren. You've got Norris. Toto comes up to you, we want Norris next year. We'll do you a bloody good deal on your engines. You're going to listen to him because you need engines. You're not going to race so well without them.
No.
So every other team can feed the big guys.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget 2026. We have another engine supplier coming into the game.
Apparently so, yeah.
Which we didn't mention. We should mention before finishing.
Yeah.
Audi?
Apparently so, yeah. Don't expect them to win, but expect them to sit half an inch off the back of whoever's in front.
But I don't know. Who are they linked with?
Well, Porsche were always being linked with Red Bull, weren't they? Now, that would be the obvious.
Porsche were always linked with Red Bull, and Audi were Sauber?
Could we potentially get 5 engines? I mean, before we go any further here, from my knowledge of the motoring industry, don't forget that Porsche are the holding company of Audi.
Oh yeah, we already know.
You say that, me and you do, but there might be somebody out there listening who doesn't.
That's true.
Let's always remember that not everybody's as into the motoring world as we are.
No.
So, for those of you that don't know, Porsche own the Volkswagen Audi group, which is Volkswagen, Audi, Skoda, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Scania, MAN, and a whole heap of others I've probably forgotten. So now, whether it is Porsche and Audi, or whether it's Porsche but they're going to run it under the Audi name, would probably make more sense.
The two main big engine suppliers that were supposed to be coming in were Audi and Porsche.
You can't see them both coming in though, because it's two from the same spot, from the same company.
Yeah, I know.
I think Porsche have been brokering the deals, but they've decided to put it under the Audi name.
Yeah.
Maybe because Porsche are already associated a lot with racing cars. more so than Audi. And Audi, I mean, apart from Le Mans and DTM, which doesn't have much reach outside of Germany,
No.
Audi don't have the massive motorsport heritage known as Porsche do. Porsche obviously do the Super Cups across the world. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but that would make more sense to me.
Because Audi is more. Well, the thing is though, but Audi was more known for rally.
Rallying, and they were very competent at Le Mans for a lot of years in endurance racing.
Yeah.
Because they brought diesel in.
Yeah.
Which gave them a massive advantage in endurance racing because diesels only had to make half the number of pit stops.
Yeah.
Because they burn fuel at such a slower rate. But we're kind of veering off topic here, which is, this announcement that Audi... I think the Audi and Porsche deal is going to turn out to be the same deal. I really do.
It probably will, but like I said, I don't know if there was supposed to be links to Sauber, which that's Haas.
It would make more sense to me for them to be coming in through Red Bull, because right now Red Bull making their own engines. Yes, I know they're not an engine maker at the end of the day. At the moment, Honda still have a lot of input, even though it's being brought out under the
Red Bull powertrain
name. So it would make more sense to me for them to come in with Red Bull.
Yeah.
Plus, Sauber are pretty much established as Ferrari. Subsidy these days, so I would see them staying there.
So
but I'm sure more of that will come out.
I'm just going to do
in time.
Right. I'll quickly read this. German manufacturer Audi will join the Formula One World Championship from the 2026 season as a power unit supplier. Comes after new power unit regulations designed specifically to make it possible and attractive for newcomers to join the sport at a competitive level were published earlier this month. The 2026 power units will maintain the current V6 internal combustion engine architecture but featured increased electrical power and 100% sustainable fuels. Two factors Audi say were the key to joining.
Yeah.
Audi, who are part of the Volkswagen Group, added that it also supports F1 plans to be more sustainable and cost-effective, with a cost cap for power unit manufacturers introduced in 2023, and F1 setting the target to be carbon neutral by 2030.
Yeah.
So obviously that car looked nice. That F1 car with the Audi logo and everything they unveiled looked nice.
Yeah.
The manufacturer said they will announce the decision on which team they will be lining up with 2026 by the end of this year.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's final deals going on.
Yeah, by the sounds of this. But like I say, Haas could be a possibility.
I'm willing to stake my stake in the ground now and say I think Red Bull is the logical.
Well, maybe, yeah.
I mean, if what you're saying is right, which I'm not doubting you, that there has been, I never heard of any of these changes. That's the first I've heard about it. These changes make it more appealing to outside teams. I would see Haas maybe trying to drag an American manufacturer in, Chevrolet or.
Yeah, but could Chevy design? You know what Chevy are like with their fucking engines. Could Chevy?
Yeah, they just turn away a 4-litre V8 instead.
That's what I mean. You know what I mean? Could Chevy design a sustainable? I think Audi's been working on this.
Oh yeah, I mean,
for a while.
Well, the rumor mill was that VW Audi had ideas together just before that Dieselgate scandal broke. And then what they had to pay in fines and redesigns for that basically took the money out of every one of these projects.
That is true.
That's what the rumours were. I honestly believe. But
so
I think I've said it before, though. I say now, F1 and the car is still great. Take away the engine restrictions and let makers do it their own way. Give them like a weight and a power limit.
Yeah.
And tell them, do it whatever way you want.
Yeah.
Just meet these standards, because I think the development and the innovation we would get. I mean, I think back to the Le Mans. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Ford versus Ferrari Le Mans film.
Yes.
That's the best example, when you had Ferrari were running a 3-litre V12.
Yeah.
Ford rock up with a 7-litre V8.
Yeah.
It's so American, it practically ran on blended eagles.
Yeah.
But the fact that those two engines could be so massively different, yet competitive, I think is touring cars does it where they can have front and rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yet the rules are set up so well that there's not a great deal of difference.
No.
And if F1 could hit that standard, like I said, I think we had this other discussion at a race or in a podcast. Japanese team brings a rotary in or something like that.
As long as it meets the standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them a minimum weight and give them a power output limit. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And then whatever weight you want to hit, and like I say, has to have the electrical of so much and has to run on sustainable fuel.
Well, like they want. Yeah, like they want. They want is
put those in.
The V6 on better electrics has to be run on its sustainable fuel.
I say just drop the V6 bit. Just say, look, say minimum weight, maximum power, this much is electric, sustainable fuel.
Yeah.
However you can put that together,
it's up to you.
Bring it and see what happens. And the innovation would go through the roof. Because you'd always get somebody who'd go a different way.
But the problem is, it's convincing. It's convincing Formula One, and it's also,
it's something we can't do.
No, it's also convincing the FIA.
But I just think it would give us such a dynamic. Because one season somebody would try something, it'd work. So the next season you'd see more teams maybe sliding that way.
Yeah. Well.
And then somebody else would try something else, and it would push the envelope of innovation.
Yeah.
And don't forget, it's innovation in stuff like sport, which filters down to our road cars.
Why don't we? Yeah. Well, yeah, but why don't we just change Why don't we just change F1? Turn them into fucking drag races.
No thanks, I do like a corner occasionally.
Yeah.
But I think we've waffled on probably far longer than we intended to here.
We have. You got the closing... What?
Just that it was a good race, let's do it again, same time next week. Oh wait, we are.
Oh yeah. For Zambot.
Yeah. I don't know, I think Max got driver of the day, which is not undeserved.
Did get driver of the day.
And fastest lap.
And I forgot to vote. Whoops. I actually forgot to put
my vote. As well.
I forgot to put my vote down.
To be honest with you, it's not a bad vote.
No.
Because his performance was just exemplary. Because the fact he started at the back wasn't his fault.
Oh. He chose to take the engine. But I think I know why he did as well.
Because it's a circuit where they knew they could overtake.
Yeah. Zambot.
And it means he's got a new engine in for Zambot. A low mileage.
Yeah, because Zambot is a high power. It's high powered track.
And then what follows it?
I should know this.
You should. He's probably our favourite on balance.
Zambot. Seriously, I hate when you do this.
I'll tell you now, it's Ferrari's back garden.
Oh, it's Monza, innit?
Monza.
Yeah.
Now, where's a circuit where you want power?
Monza as well. You definitely want it at Monza. Going to be interesting to see what happens this time at Monza. But yeah, I think we should leave it here because we have waffled.
Always waffle, never.
So thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitch. All links are in the description. And we shall see you the next one. So until then.
So long, folks.
Goodbye for now.